Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Box Office Talk. This is the show where I break down what happened at the box office, see if my predictions for the top 5 are correct, then make predictions for next week's top 5. So let's get right on into it. Last week, I predicted that number 1 would be Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, number 2 would be Jumanji: The Next Level, number 3 would be Frozen 2, number 4 would be Cats, and number 5 would be Bombshell. And I got so close to getting a 5 out of 5 for all of my predictions, but unfortunately, I was just one shy. I got 4 out of 5 of my predictions right, which is still pretty good, but I was really hoping for that 5. I almost got close to it, though. Number 1 was, of course, obviously Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, which had not only J.J. Abrams' second highest opening weekend ever, but the third highest opening weekend out of any Star Wars saga film, making $175 million on an opening weekend. The budget is like around 250 to like 300 million, somewhere around that. I think the numbers has it placed at like 275 right now, but worldwide it is sitting at 373 million, and every Star Wars movie is profitable and reaches $1 billion, save for Solo, but this one obviously is open much bigger than Solo. So I think it's pretty obvious that this will also at least reach $1 billion. But I think it is warranted to mention that it is the lowest opening weekend in this new trilogy, and the fact that they're kind of promoting this as the final conclusion in the Skywalker saga. This is a big event. Everyone should go see it. The fact that it only made 175 million, which is 25 million shy of where it was originally estimated to open at, which was over 200 million, I think that is very telling of where Star Wars is. Though I know a lot of fans really liked it. I think a lot of people saw the complaints that a lot of people had, the critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, that green splat doesn't make anything look that good. And I know Rotten Tomatoes shouldn't define what you go see, but a lot of people do go by that rule because they don't see movies often, and sometimes they just really want to see a good one if they're going to go to the theater. And if they see Star Wars doesn't get one, then maybe it's not the time to go if they don't care about it all that much. So I just think that this opening weekend, although it's still a lot of money and they're still going to get to $1 billion worldwide, I just think it's very telling of where this series has kind of gone and the waning interest that it has created. Number 2, we have Jumanji: The Next Level, making 26 million. It had about an over 50% drop, but it's about expected. Since it's competing with Star Wars, it's probably still going to make a ton of money over this holiday season. That adds to a domestic total of 101 million. Domestically, it outgrossed the original Jumanji by 1 million, and it needs 303 million more to outgross Welcome to the Jungle. And worldwide, it outgrossed the original with 49 million over, and it needs 653 million to outgross Welcome to the Jungle worldwide. I'm not sure if it will outgross Welcome to the Jungle, though, because that first movie was just such a surprise hit. It's kind of hard to capture that kind of same surprise magic again. But stranger things have happened before. I'm just not sure if it will happen again for this. But still, since worldwide it is sitting at $311 million and they've already doubled its $125 million budget, I think it's doing pretty well for itself. It's safe to say this isn't a flop. It's not a failure. I think everyone is just really pleased with how well this movie is doing, and they probably will move forward with another Jumanji movie to close out this trilogy that they've created with Dwayne Johnson and Kevin Hart. And as far as Jake Kasdan goes, the director, it outgrossed his other film Bad Teacher by $1 million, and now it just needs to outgross Welcome to the Jungle, and that's just kind of up to debate if it will do that or not, but either way, it's still doing very well. At number 3, we have Frozen 2, making 12 million, adding to a domestic total of 386 million. Domestically, it needs 14 million more to outgross the original. It'll probably do that at least next week, I think, because a lot of people are going to be rushing out to see the movies over the holiday season. I think Frozen might have a chance to push over by then, maybe. Worldwide, it is sitting at $1.103 billion, and worldwide, it needs 169 million more to outgross the original, which it definitely will do at some point. It's just a really long waiting game. It's something that I've been kind of calling, like, it's probably definitely going to outgross that first movie, but it's just taking a little while to get there. Not that that's a bad thing or anything, but that first movie did make a ton of money after all. Number 4, we have Cats, making 6.5 million, and the budget is actually like around $100 million. Like, I was honestly surprised that it wasn't a little bit higher, but worldwide, it's not doing them any favors either. It's sitting at $10 million. Now, maybe this can be the greatest showman of this year, but honestly, I find that really improbable because the Rotten Tomatoes score compared to The Greatest Showman in this, there's a huge difference. Cats is not getting well received at all. And even the audience score, even though it is still technically positive, it's not as high as it could have been to even warrant more people kind of spreading the word, like, go see this movie, don't listen to the critics. So I don't think this will be The Greatest Showman. I think it still will make a little bit more money, but not enough to double its budget. I don't think it's going to be a big success. Number 5, we have Knives Out, making 6.1 million, adding to a domestic total of $89 million, just 11 million more to get to 100 million domestically, and worldwide it is sitting at 185 million, so it needs 15 million more to get to 200 million worldwide. It has outgrossed Looper domestically and worldwide. It is now Rian Johnson's highest grossing film that isn't Star Wars The Last Jedi, which is really great for him. Still waiting for a formal announcement on if we're going to get another Benoit Blanc movie, but if not, I'm just going to look forward to whatever Rian Johnson does next, whether it's his Star Wars trilogy or not. Number 6, we have Bombshell, which I thought would get into the top 5, but it didn't. It got very close, though, making $5 million. There's no worldwide total to kind of back it up right now, but it might need to at some point. I think it might be able to hold over pretty well, but since it is fairly kind of political and kind of topical, it might drive certain people away that might be too biased to go see this movie. The budget is around $32 million, so I hope that they do get the numbers to double that at some point, because it was a fairly decent movie. I just saw it a couple hours ago. Number 7, we have Richard Jewell making $2 million, adding to a domestic total of $9 million. It still needs $81 million more to double its $45 million budget, and not only is it falling flat domestically, but worldwide there have been no numbers to come in to support it yet. So, I mean, I don't know, maybe another excuse for the Christmas season. Maybe more people will go see it this Christmas season. Maybe some worldwide numbers will give it some help, but right now it's looking like it's just a big flop for Clint Eastwood. Not a big flop because the budget was relatively low, but since there's no worldwide numbers to support the very, very, very low domestic ones, it looks like a bigger flop than it could be. Number 8, we have Queen and Slim, which also still doesn't have a worldwide total, which is kind of upsetting to me. I thought for sure there would be one at this point because it made $1.85 million this weekend, and that adds to a domestic total of $36 million. It's about to leave the top 10, and it still needs $4 million more to double its $20 million budget, and it only made $1.85 million. Now, once again, maybe this holiday season, more people will go out and see it and check it out, but right now it's just not looking too good. I honestly don't really think it's going to be here next weekend because we have 3 movies that are coming out, some a little bit smaller, but an animated film that's going to probably push some things out of the top 10. Number 9, we have Black Christmas making $1.80 million, adding to a domestic total of $7 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $13 million, so it needs $3 million more to outgross the 2006 remake of Black Christmas. I think it will do that, maybe, but domestically it needs $9 million more to outgross that 2006 remake, so I don't think domestically it's going to outgross it, but worldwide it might still have a chance. But here's the thing about Black Christmas is that this shares the same weekend estimate gross as number 10, which is Ford versus Ferrari, making $1.80 million. So maybe one of these will make more than the other when the official numbers come out, but I can only go with the estimates for these videos. But that adds to a domestic total of $101 million. Worldwide, it is sitting at $192 million. It's $3 million away from doubling its $97.6 million budget, but also $8 million away from getting to $200 million worldwide, which would be a really great way to cap off this movie's success, especially since they just crossed $100 million domestically. I'm very happy that this movie wasn't a complete flop and that a ton of people went out to see it. I don't know how big of an awards contender it will be come Oscar time, considering it has a lot of competition, but I think this box office success at least gives it a fair chance. Now it's time for the fun part, the predictions for next week's top 5. Number 1, I'm going with Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. Then number 2, Spies in Disguise. Number 3, Jumanji The Next Level. Number 4, Little Women. And then number 5, Uncut Gems. But what are your predictions for next week's top 5? Leave them in the comments below. And if you got your predictions right for this week, you're going to get a shout out right now. Unless you didn't get it right, then I'm sorry. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe. I'm Jackson Fulcher. See you guys next time.